Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices for Monday, November the 14th, starting with the DAX on the weekly chart here. We can look at it in two ways. We can look at it as an A and a B and a C wave completed here, and then we can continue to moving to the upside, or we can look at all of this here or just simply put wave B over here, and we can configure this in different ways here, such as an A and a B and a C wave here in 5 waves here. So really a little bit like the S&P 500, we're just basically looking for 5 waves up. Once we've got those 5 waves, then we should have, if it's going to be bullish, well then we'd have a 3-wave counter trend at that point, and then we would see further upside at that point. So it's in this space here that we'll understand if we've got a correction or not, or we actually just continue to the downside at that point. It's quite normal for a market when it corrects to come down to the 50%, 60% area from the previous swing, and then go back up to the 50-60% and then come down again at that point. So even though we can count it as being impulsive to the upside, it doesn't mean that that it's bullish at this particular time, you know, but we could label it as a bullish wave, as wave 1 at that point, but we won't know that until we get on the other side over here. That said, there are markets that are across the world that are looking quite bullish. The industries section, the banks, yeah, you can have a look at the US video and have, because I covered some sectors today. There are weak sectors. The consumer discretionaries are still down here. The S&P is still down here, and so on. But this is a little bit like the Dow Jones. Actually, the Dow Jones is moving up quite high and looks quite impulsive. Well, the only way around it that I know of is really, I'll just keep counting the waves up here, and when we get to 5 waves, then we'll see what type of correction that we get at this point, and then we'll take it from that point. So let's just go to the daily chart where we normally start, and last time we spoke, we were looking at an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave up here, or we can count it up as 1 and 2. Now, I don't particularly, I'm not that fond of the A wave and the B wave and the C wave up here, because the C wave doesn't really have any sort of, well, you could do a relationship between the two of them, the wave A and wave C, but it's becoming a little bit elongated in that wave C compared to wave A. So we're probably better off counting it as a 5-wave structure to the upside. Now, in counting it to the upside, there's a couple of little caveats. This one here, we can label this wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, or we can label the whole thing 1 and 2, and that would give us 3, 4 here. We still haven't finished. I can see from here very clearly we've got 1, 2, 3 here, so we still need 4 and 5, which could create a particular top, and then we'll need another one at that point to go up as well. But I think in lining this move here to the S&P 500 would be a nice start. So with the S&P 500 here, we've got wave 1, 2 here, and we're looking for wave 3, 4, and 5. So I think that once we get to this particular point of having this 5th wave in here around the 4100, there should be good resistance at that point. And I mean, after 5 waves anyway, we'll always see an ABC correction over here, at least before we're going to go up. So we're not going to miss much. We're at the later stages of this particular trend from this point. Now, this move up here, we could quite easily label this wave 1 as well, but we don't know that just yet. We need to get past this 5-wave structure here. So it's a little bit simpler on the S&P 500 rather than the DAX, because the DAX has got quite a long move up here. So it just depends on how you want to count this, but I do think that we should prioritize this being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and keep it as simple. So basically up here, I think coming to the top up here is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in here and 5. Then that would be quite meaningful at this point, and that means that we would label all of this here as 1 and 2 in here and 3 and 4 and 5 at that point. So we'll go in and have a little look at them. We've been tracking different counts on different different charts. So let's just go in. We've got a bullish count on 20, so we'll just go and have a look at that. And we've got 10 and 2, so we can do that. So this is a bullish count here. This takes us past where we'd go with the S&P. So the S&P would take us to this point. So I'll just keep an eye on this, and this is looking at this as 1 and 2 in here, by the way, and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5 for third. So it's you know, in some cases we can put this as wave 1 here and wave 2 here. That would sort of sharpen things up a little bit at that point, you know. But even if you know, if I just looked at this here as an A wave here, a B wave here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and finish at this point. So this next move is quite critical at this point, this one here. So I don't know if we're going to get that. I'm just mapping it out in terms of a bullish particular pattern, you know, so it's not a big deal. So let's go into 10k ticks and see what we got here. Okay, so I've just counted this slightly differently, but the same thing here. I can look at all of this move here as 1 here, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Now we spoke about this last time, and this would line up with the S&P 500 as the A wave, the B wave, and the C wave up. I could just drag that over to here for that and put that here. So yeah, it just sort of all boils down to this particular top here, which I can put sort of in there. We can go, I'll just cut to the chase here a little bit. I just see what I've got on the 1000, nothing on here. I haven't updated that. So we'll go to the 100 and we'll just drag in some more data here for this. So let's just bring in a bit more data and just pick up somewhere where we know at some point. Okay, so from the low here, yeah, like I said, you know, having the A and the B here and the C way up here, it's such a long shot, you know. It's sort of a bit far back in history, but anyway, as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then going up into this little section here. We counted up here last time we spoke as 1 and 2, and then we're looking at I think this is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and then all the way up to 5 here. So we can pull back for this wave 4 here to the 38.2% retracement level, the wave 4 1 lesser degree here. So not such a big sort of ask, but we may just come short, or may come in, you know, may not pull all the way back here, but from 2 to 3 it's possible to come back to here. But it looks like there'd be good support in here too, around the 14,180, 200 sort of area. But because we're at 300 here, this will be the top of minor group 1. We can put that 200 in, and there should be good support there for that. And at the 100, that's all of group 1 here. So really all we're looking for is, I think this is here as 1 and 2 and 3 here, and little wave 4 here, or that wave 4 could be taken there as 1 ABC for 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're very close to having that top in play there. So in a nutshell, what we're looking for is some sort of ABC pattern to come back, and then one more move to the upside at that point. Pretty much what the S&P is going to do. So beyond that, I don't know. It could be the top of wave C or 3, and then we'll just keep an eye on what comes out the gates here, and you know, we'll just be a little bit patient. If we can see it being corrective, well, then we know we're going up further, and we'll be going up to the 15,000 at that point. But we don't know that yet, so we just need to wait and see. And this will be the same for, just cutting a long story short, it'll be the same for this market here. We can look at a wave 4 pulling back in here, and we could look at this top here as wave C, or we could look at it as wave 3. So once again, we should see some pullback there, or some sort of correction across the 9. I mean, it's pretty simple to see from here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know. So up to the 4,000, but worked the 3.9 in that area. Now the FTSE here, so we can do the same thing here. We can look at this as an A and a B and a C up here. I could label it wave D and look for a wave E over here for that. Or I could look at all of this here, a bit of a long shot here with a wave here, and then it doesn't play a very good B wave here, but then an A, B doesn't really work. I can have to bring that back over here. But anyway, our main gist here is to work out if we've got 5 waves up or 3 waves up here. So we still need one more move up here for this, because I can count this. I can count this as an impulse wave. We'll go in and have a bit of a look at it, but the point here, one more move to the upside here, and then we just have to wait to be a little bit patient at this point, you know, to see, because this B wave could come all the way over here, by the way. So just need to be, yeah, a little bit patient. So what are we on? 5 and 1. I don't know what I've updated, but we'll soon find out. This is 5k tick. Okay, this is where we've been. Yeah. So just from this low here, we can look at it as wave A and B, but like I've never liked that, because the A and the B doesn't really have much relationship to wave C here. I mean, it's quite big, you know. I'm quite happy counting this as 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 here, and this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for third wave, fourth wave, and then up for the fifth wave. So I'm happy with this count, you know. So 3, 4, 5 here, and we waited for wave 4. We might need to put wave 4 over here for that. No, that's okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's okay. 1, 2, yeah, maybe it's come back a bit low. So it looks like we've already started coming into this particular move here for this. So I don't know if we'll get another move up on this one. That's wave 4 coming back into this space. So what we normally do is take the previous wave 4 and then wherever the 38.2% retracement level is, and then look for that area, you know. But, you know, I could be wrong. We could have 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but we're overlapping. Wave 4's overlapping. So, yeah. But anyway, this trend is slowing down a lot at this particular point. But the other markets have got one more move to the upside. So maybe that's okay. We got one more move to the upside. We shall see. But the main point is we don't have 5 waves from this low up here just yet, but we may get that or we may not. I mean, the FTSE can kind of just do its own thing a little bit, so we need to take that on board as well. It's not like the STOXX 50 and the DAX sort of grooving together, do you know? So yeah, the FT 250 here. Last time we spoke, we were looking down as a low here. I have added the A wave here and the B wave over here for this, and well, I had the A wave here, so I had counted down as 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down for 5 here. A little bit rough and ready on all of that, and you could probably count it differently. But we looked at this being 5 waves here, so we're calling a low in. I've just seen it, you know, building up from this point, and it's sort of moving along quite nicely. So I thought, well, let's just see what type of, you know, pattern we get out of this here. Do we get 5 waves out of this, you know? There'll be different ways to count this here, but we'll probably go 1 and 2. I mean, technically we should go wave 3, 4, and 4 here, and then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and have this finish off in one more wave here like this, you know, and then that would give us 5 waves up, counting as 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 up here. But I think it can be counted as 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 quite nicely as well, coming into a third wave here. So I won't get too hypey about it, but I've just been monitoring it and just keeping a bit of an eye on it at this point. Yeah. Anyway, not a big deal at that point. Okay, over to the to the currencies. Now, I do need to start off with the US dollar index here, so just give me a little tick to find that. And oh, that's not that one. Or did I have it somewhere else? Why is it showing up? There it is. Let's just go back to the daily chart here and get our bearings on this for a moment. So the story that I've been tracking is we've either got wave 3 in here, or we've got a top in as wave 5. So as a wave 3 here, the 38.2% retracement level is here at 10.5, but I do see that would probably come down further than this unless we're going to turn straight up from, you know, from that 10.5 area there, which is kind of possible in a way, because if I just move this to one side for a moment and then move this over to here and then move this over to here, and then I'm left with the US, I probably could look at the loonie as well, but anyway, I should just do that actually. Just bear with me a second here. I think I should have it somewhere. So I want not the CAD US, I want the US CAD. That will give me much the same. It's daily. Not a very nice structure in here, doesn't finish well, but that's so I'm just really doing this for myself, but that's 5 waves there, that's 61.8% there. Can it be 1 and 2 and move up at that point? What do we got in here though? Let's just have a look at this, break it down. That's pretty, I don't normally follow this too much, but I just wanted to have a quick look at it. But definitely got down for 1 and 2 and then coming down. I could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming into here. I'll keep an eye on that. I'll just have a closer look at that on 15 minutes. I mean, obviously we got 5 waves in this move here, and then we could look at this as 1 and 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4 in here, so 5. Okay. That's 1, 2, 3. So we could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's all of the third waves. So it's still 1 wave short here as well. That's the same as the other market, so that's okay. So just coming across here though, on the US yen here. So it does look a bit corrective up here, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't look like it's, I mean, this is obviously impulsive here, and we can talk about that in a moment, but this here, I mean, that's impulsive, but it would make it, doesn't give me 5 waves here, you know what I mean? I suppose it could give me 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. It doesn't give me 5 waves here though. And that's, I did count that as an ABC here, and that's an ABC, and that's an ABC. So yeah, look at it could be taken down as an A wave and a B wave and a C wave down here. So what I'm trying to say here is the move down here could be counted as corrective. So I haven't really pulled this apart here, but I was thinking 1, 2, I have to double check all of that, 3, 4, 5. So it could actually have a low in place here. Otherwise we'll need to go for wave 4 and then have one more move down. I'll have to check that. But it wasn't really about that. It was really about this, as somebody mentioned on YouTube, I've forgotten who it was now, sorry about that, but mentioned I should have a look at this and I can see what's going on. So when we look at this now, this is the daily chart here. You know, this first particular move down through here, it could be counted as wave 1, but the wave 3 was just a little bit short and there was overlap there. Or about the wave 1 and 3 were the same size, let's say, but the wave 4 overlapped wave 1. So it wasn't the best looking wave 1, so it was a bit sort of here or there how you wanted to label that particular one there. That was definitely in 3 waves. This move here is in 3 waves. Unless you take it from the top there and put that there, then that can make that like a nice wave 1 here and 2 here, you know. So there's a couple of ways this could play out here. But anyway, this move down through here does not appear to be completed yet either way. But if it comes down past this area through here, then we'll have to look at this next move down here as a wave 2 at this point. I don't think we've got a top in for the US dollar, because basically what also I'm noticing is that, sorry to go tangent here down, where's my oh, this one, just on the yields here. you know, everybody's not everybody, of course, folks are assuming that the, you know, the Feds are going to take it easy on rate hikes, you know, because of the CPI figures. But I don't know if they're going to base a decision on, you know, two pieces of data as such. But I do see with the yields here that that we've got a top in place here, and this should pull back into a larger wave 4 here. How far it comes back, it doesn't always have to come back to this particular point. Let's just look at this in another way. Let's look at it from here to here. That's 38, yeah, so it could come all the way back here, but sometimes they don't, you know, sometimes they can just sort of settle in around, not directly on the top, but down. So anyway, I see this coming down further. So this is going to come down. Well, then shouldn't the US dollar come down with it as well? But still be corrective, because we need this up here. So yeah, so while the stock market's pushing up and the dollar's pushing down and the yields are pushing down, it looks like the Feds haven't made a decision about anything yet, have they? I mean, everybody's just assuming that, and it's creating this emotional move here, really. But what about if the Feds you know, do it at 75 basis points? Well, then this is going to kick back up here again, isn't it? In this line, this count's pretty clear to me. So yeah, anyway, that's that story. So you know, I think we're coming down further. So in that, if we go to the 2K here, so we've got from here, we've got 1 and 2, and we're not down at the third wave here just yet. And we'll need the fourth. So I'm looking for 5 waves between wave 2 and 3 here for this. So that means that, you know, if this is the case, well, then the pound and the euro and that can push up at this point, you know. So we've got from this area here, be it B or 2, that's still to be decided, but as 1 and 2 here, and then we count it down here. I've got it as 1 and 2 now, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here. So I hadn't counted that last little bit here, but by the looks of that gapping open there, we could probably call that in. And this wave 4 can come back to this wave 4. So while the S&P and that is pulling back here, then this can pull up here, you know, then come down for this move here. So if this is going to be, you know, we should take this on board as well, because if this is going to come down here as wave 5 and then 4 and then 5 here, well then, you know, we should be looking at the S&P and the other guys doing the same thing, do you know what I mean, but in reverse. And that means the DAX as well, with all of that, and the currencies, you know. The count is reasonably clear here. I could adjust it further. I could put wave 1 here and 2 here, but I think that's pretty good at this stage, good enough anyway. There will be a bounce off this, well, off this 5 here, maybe not directly. We still need, you know, 5 waves down at that point. But yeah, so if this is going to come down further, then you know, we'll see. Where are we here with our with this one here? So first of all, I'll just grab this chart because it's here, but look, to be honest, I can just see there's different ways to count all of this. I wouldn't really worry about any of this too much, of getting this right at the moment, because I just can't see how you can pin it. I don't see how you can make it right, because every which way you look at it, there's boxes that are unticked, you know. So I think the focus is here, and the focus should be looking for the same as the stock market, wave 3, 4 and 5 at least at this point. Now, I know that, you know, we basically here, you could look at this in 3 waves, you could look at this in 3 waves, you could look at this in 3 waves, this in 3 waves. So we may end up looking at this as 5 here, and then having a correction here, and then having another one up here, and looking at this here also to the upside as corrective, as an ABC pattern here. Now you probably start throwing stuff at me, but when you think about it, if we've got to get that extra leg there, you know, when we're talking about this here, we're still talking about 3, 4 and 5 here. Do you know what I mean? We need that zigzag here, so that zigzag will need to show up in other places as well. So it'll probably show up here, and the same with the euro as well. So with the euro here, we can look at this here, the same as the stock market. same as the S&P and the rest of the guys. So basically we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, and that'll be the same here. We've got 1, 2, we're looking for the third, fourth, and then the fifth wave to the upside here. But there may be more to it than that as well. We don't know that just yet. But looking at the US dollar, it looks like we'll kick back here and then go up again at that point. So we'll just see how that plays out. But yeah, that's where that is at the moment. Yeah, that's it. I think that's all I needed to say today. So basically, you know, the currencies, like the euro and the pound and so on, and the indices will all need to, they're going into what you see is not what you get next. So here we've got wave, it looks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks pretty simple. We've got the A wave, B wave, C wave, pull back to this wave 4, 1 lesser degree, and then move up, and then have a correction again, and then move up here. So above the 105 area, yeah, probably 106.50, probably somewhere there. But that's where that is at the moment. And, you know, we could look at all of this to the upside as being an A and a B and a C wave up here in 5 waves, or we could look at it as wave 1 and 2 over here. So there's different ways to look at it. We can't confirm, you know, the stock market looks like it's in a bullish trend when we're looking at some of the sectors, but not all the sectors, some of the sectors. So it'll be interesting to see. We can't confirm a low in place for all of these markets just yet, but it does appear that there's a good possibility that that can be the case. Alrighty, cheers.